Hey friends, it's Jen. Welcome back to the Homes That Heal podcast. Before I get into introducing my guest today, I want to share a quick gift I have for you. I decided to create a home wellness checklist so it's easy for you to get started on designing your own beautiful sacred space. So if you're looking for inspiration and actionable ways you can bring more peace, love, and wellness into your home, I bundled up my favorite tips, tools, and techniques so you can transform and harmonize your life. It's fun, it's free, and it's patiently waiting for you over at jenhellerlifestyle.com. Also, a few of you have reached out recently inquiring about sauna information. Please know you can find all the details of saunas on the Jen Heller Lifestyle site as well. If you decide to call Clearlight directly instead of connecting with me, that's totally okay. Just be sure to let them know that Jen Heller sent you for special pricing and a specific free gift I have for you. Okay, so I'm really excited to share and introduce to you a soul sister and dear friend of mine, Siri. Siri is not only one of the most free-spirited souls I know, but she's also wildly passionate and deeply rooted in joyful living, which is one of the many reasons I love her. She and I met through the Kathy Heller Collective, the best high vibe group on the planet, by the way, and I immediately knew we'd be friends and connected. She has this beautiful, raw, expansive energy, plus she just embodies authenticity. If you've listened to her podcast or participated in her breathwork class, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She feels deeply and is a master at teaching others how to tap into their divine self. A little about Suri is she was born in an American Sikh yoga ashram, but mainly grew up with Reiki masters, channelers, and meditation teachers in Vermont. She has been an actor-performer her whole life on the East Coast and in LA, plus has traveled the world for films. She's a domestic CEO, mountain breathwork teacher, Akashic teacher, Reiki master of masters, human design reader, Buddhist practitioner, and a music, dance, and dog lover. Her site is called Sage and Blush Wellness, where you can find all the beautiful ways you can connect with her. On today's show, we're going to talk about living in a home that embodies peace, why nature can help your nervous system heal, and how breathwork can transform your state of being. One of the things I love that Siri always reminds me, breathwork is not about pleasing anyone. It's an experience with yourself. I think so many people are hesitant to try it, but honestly, you truly can't screw it up. You literally just breathe and let everything else go. We also talk about healthy daily routines, the old school alarm clock I recommend. Don't worry, I'll include the link in the show notes, plus the important benefits of keeping your phone out of your bedroom at night, your kiddos' bedrooms, and out of sight and out of mind first thing in the morning. Hear me when I say this is probably one of the biggest and best things you can do for your health and your family every day. It's so harmful and destructive to your body, brain, and overall rest and restorative time. It's constantly pulsing your body with dangerous EMF radiation, and it's one of the best ways to speed up the aging process if you're interested in getting older faster. It also can increase your risk for health issues. Suri and I jam out and compare notes on this hot topic, plus I share my non-negotiable morning routine. So the funny thing about our conversation, and I'm not at all surprised, is I decided to split it up into a two-part series because we talked well beyond our usual time. But in the moment, I was like, oh, well, let's just keep rolling with it. I'll figure it out. So here we are today with part one of the series. I hope you enjoy her as much as I do. Please welcome my dear friend, Siri Baruc Thornton. Are you struggling with low energy, weight gain, hormonal imbalances, or heavy metal and mold toxicity? Do you want to learn more about anti-aging tips and creating more longevity in your life? Well, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Jen Heller, a wellness educator, infrared sauna expert, and home health consultant. In this podcast, Homes That Heal, I will teach you how to transform your home into a health and wellness sanctuary. Your health is your wealth, and I believe that your home should be your sanctuary space, loaded with the tools you need to thrive in your life, not just survive. If you want to feel fantastic and transform your life and home, grab a pen, let's dive in and create a home that heals. All right, beautiful friend Siri is here today. Welcome to the show. You're on my show now. How fun is this? I know. I was like, we just had this conversation a few weeks ago on your show. And I was like, what are we going to talk about? Well, in 2 seconds, we know exactly what we're going to talk about. So
That's right.
all things homes that heal today. And for listeners, before we hit the record button just a minute ago, we started talking a little bit about my home. And so we thought we're going to share this conversation with you all today. So basically, we notice if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching this in a reel, you can see that we're all things blue today. I'm wearing a blue shirt. I've got a blue background, a picture behind me. Siri's got a blue shirt on. Her walls are blue. They pretty much match, which is beautiful and abundant, and I love it. And so blue is just such a fun color in general of like soothing and relaxing. But in my home, when we moved to this house, like I'm from the Northwoods of Wisconsin. And when I moved to the southern part of the state, I moved to the city. And it took me like 10 years to figure out that I'm not a city girl. So now I'm back in the country.
Yeah, you had to get that out.
Yeah, I had to get that out. So first of all, before we get into this, welcome to the show. And
thank you.
I want to talk about, coming out of the city, finding a house that felt relaxing and easeability. Literally walked into this house and it was like a tree house. So exactly.
Such a dream.
I know. It's literally like take all the blinds off the windows. My husband saw the look on my face because he's like, whoa, I didn't think we were looking to buy a house. We were just going to look. I'm like, well, it's kind of like going to the animal shelter or the rescue. You're not just going to look. You're coming home with something.
Yeah. When you say we're going to go look, it's you got to be ready.
Yeah. I was ready. Mark maybe was not. But one of the things that is so important to me, and I know it's so important to you, and we're going to dive into, is creating this space of harmony, right? Like creating this beautiful experience every day. And so my home is an experience every day. So I don't have a lot of window treatments because I want the nature to pour in. Yeah. I want to see the green lush in the summer, and I want to see the beautiful reds and oranges and yellows in the fall. And in the winter, it's like a winter wonderland. So it's absolutely gorgeous.
Do you know that song? This is a sanctuary.
I don't.
You can find I'll send it to you.
Please do. Who sings this? Where
I don't know. I don't know who sings it. I'll send it to you though.
Okay.
We'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes. Absolutely. So tell me why you picked the color blue for your backdrop. Tell me about your space and how you want to feel.
Okay. So
as well as you're petting the wall. I love it.
If you tilt up. Okay, this is just a set. It's just a figment of your imagination. No, it's real, but it ends there. Okay? It ends there.
Oh my gosh. What
an
interesting illusion.
and there's the paint. Can you see the paint?
I absolutely can.
Okay. So I just want to be transparent that this is a set and I have not finished painting this wall. And I kind of like it. But my husband's like, did you finish that wall? And I did the same thing in our closet. I was doing a live yesterday in my closet, and you can see that there's just like a patch.
What?
This is just a patch of pink in my closet. Point being, which is what I said on the live, is I'm a manifesting generator, and I like to skip steps, and I like to go fast, and I like to just kind of move on to the next thing. And so that's a little bit about me. But my desk is also the same color, just a little bit deeper than the wall. So you asked me about blue. I'm wearing also a pure linen blue shirt because, hey, pure linen, right? Apparently it's like high hertz. It's like 1,500 hertz or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's the new thing. I manifested my mother-in-law giving me this pure linen shirt. I didn't even have to go buy it. So that's why I'm wearing this, because it was just the nicest thing to throw on. But yes, coming back to your home, Jen, I have been looking for an Airbnb that I can check into that is just what you described of your home. To have like the wall-to-wall windows with that expansive view of nature is everything to me. I want to be inside and have the comforts, the sanctuary, the healing of being like near a bathroom and near the kitchen and like near blankets and all of those comforts, because I love cave environments. I'm a cave environment girl in human design. But I also want to feel one with nature.
Yeah.
Just like your home. So your home, when you were describing it just now, I was like, that is what I've been looking for. I want to check into an Airbnb. And yes, maybe eventually I'll like actually have a home like yours. And my office, I do, when I look out, I see oh, this.
Yeah, peace. Yeah.
You know, like I see greenery. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. My office is a sanctuary for sure. And this whole thing of creating the home that heals is everything to me. And I'm about to travel this weekend, right? Going to a Kathy Heller retreat.
Nice.
And I've rented an Airbnb, and the women are starting to message me and ask me, because I'm hosting the Airbnb, and there's like 6 women, and they're like, so, you know, what are we doing? And what's the plan? And should we go here? Should we go there? When can we check in? And I was like, okay, ladies, I am going to either be in the hot tub or the pool or at the ocean, which we're 7 minutes from.
Love it.
I am going to be in my sanctuary, in my home that heals, ideally, hopefully, because when I go to the retreat, that's my social time. That's my, you know, high vibe energy, like engagement time. And then I don't want to use my other time to try and like overplan myself. I just want to be in like the spaces that feel healing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many things I have to say about that. That's everything. That's everything. And we didn't hit the record button as quickly as we should have when we were talking about, but for me, and everyone knows my story, everybody knows about why I bought this house and why I needed to get back into nature. Most people know that I had the stroke and my health was not in a good way and I needed to chase it backwards. And the overarching message I kept getting coming through loud and clear, no matter everywhere I was, no matter where I was asking, was get to a place of peace and tranquility and get in the trees, like get the oxygenation of the trees and get to a place where you can sit in the grass and let the sun beat down on you and let the earth hold you. Like I'm literally getting goosebumps all over my body right now.
I love hearing you say, let the earth hold you. That's just so healing, just hearing you say that.
Yeah. Thank you. So I knew I needed to get to a space where I could give my body to the earth and allow it to tell me where I needed to go, what I needed to do. Because in the noise of the city, and don't get me wrong, Mark and I were out to dinner last night downtown at a gorgeous restaurant with some beautiful friends, and we had an amazing time and all the things. It's super convenient. But we get in the car and I'm like, get me home. Like, get me out of here. Like, I mean, I love the convenience. I mean, we're 15, 20 minutes from the city, but for me, take me back to my haven, get me back to my peace. And we actually packed our walking shoes and because we take an evening walk every night. We packed our walking shoes and a change of clothes. We literally stripped down in our car on Main Street last night at our normal walking routine. This is why I drive a car with tinted windows, blackout windows, blackout car.
I love it. Your house is transparent. The car is like blackout. Yeah, it's like either or. Let's go.
My car is a rolling phone booth and a changing space and sometimes my home office. But literally, I've worked out of the back of my car way more times than I care to admit. Just did it a few weeks ago for 3 hours downtown because I had to. It's where I had internet access. But anyway, because I'm always on the fly. You're an
entrepreneur.
So just taking that walk and just getting back into the peace. And so you and I met obviously through Kathy Heller. We'll come back here in a second for a true introduction of who you are and let the audience know who you are. We'll come back to that, but I'm super excited to talk about this first. Going to an Airbnb and just finding the space. Now, most people also know I take a solo trip every year by myself and I pick the space where I can just go be.
Wait, I thought you were up to twice a year. Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah, twice a year, but annual solo trips for Jen.
Yes.
where I just go and be one with nature and just experience whatever it is. Sometimes it's by water, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's in the mountains. Last year it was Sedona. Like it's just having the experience to just revel in the beauty and the vibe of it versus having a plan and an agenda. Oh, I love it. And I'm not going to be at Kathy's event next week. I'm sad about that. Yeah.
I'll miss you.
I know. We got to hang out at the last
soon.
event.
We'll figure it out soon. Next time.
I'll be at it just didn't fit on my schedule, but I want to backstep just for a second. Obviously, talk about who you are a little bit. Everyone's going to know who you are, but Sage and Blush Wellness, your Reiki, breathwork, human design, all the things I love. Tell me your passions, tell me what you do, and tell me a little bit about your story and how you stepped into this most beautiful, harmonious space.
Okay. My passion, the forefront, is breathwork. Breathwork became the passion 3.5 years ago, I want to say. And also, I was facilitating breathwork 20-something years ago in New York City. Speaking of cities, I was a New York City girl for a while. I got that out of my system.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
I was all over New York. I used to live in Westchester in my teen years because my dad was there. And then I was in Yonkers, and I spent a lot of time in Mount Vernon. And then New Rochelle was where my dad was. And then I was in Stamford, Connecticut for a while, like outside. So those are all the outskirt areas. But then in New York, I was in Chelsea and I was on the Upper West Side.
Okay.
And such a fun period of time of my life. And during that period of time of my life, I was doing Reiki. I was always doing Reiki. And I was also facilitating breath work with a girlfriend of mine who was a facilitator. So we rented out this acupuncture space in New York City, and we used to have groups come and facilitate that. And I was actually the Reiki master of Master's Girl. And then my best girlfriend was the breathwork facilitator, but we were doing trades, and she facilitated, 30 sessions on me. And then I would give her Reiki, and then we started doing these group sessions. And then when we both ended up back out in LA, because I had already lived in LA for a little bit, I was back and forth. She ended up in LA. We started doing those in Santa Monica at a Pilates studio, and also in West Hollywood in my apartment. And then this is such a cool part that I love, is because of that, I got to go onto the set of Glee, and Leah Michelle's trailer before Corey passed, he was there too. I got to give her Reiki in her trailer. So much fun. But that is the passion, is breath work. And it's such a thing now, but really I've been doing it for a little while and infusing it with Reiki. Like that really, I feel like, is what makes it extra special. But I call it mountain breath work because I was interviewing on my podcast, The Authentic Creative, which is my other passion. I was interviewing this actress, Johanna Watts, and she was sharing with me about her husband, John Spates, who is the writer of the last 2 Dune movies.
Okay.
And all these other incredible Passengers and Marvel movies and things like this. He's an amazing writer. So she was talking about her love for him. And she was describing it on my podcast. She was saying, I mountain you to him. And I'm like freaking out. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. And she's like, it's this love that is everlasting, that is strong, that is solid, that is wide, that is lifting you up and loving you through the elements. And I was like, oh my God, can I please use that as the name of my breath work? And I'm getting chills right now just seeing your reaction.
I know. My body's over here like, oh, all the things. Like mountain just, it's an experience, right? Everybody understands what it feels like. So,
so this building up of the elements and building someone else up in that sturdiness and that steadiness and that everlasting love, like a mountain, just inspired me. And I was like, this is the feeling that I want people to have. I want to provide the space. This is what I do. For years now, I provide the space, and mostly it's online. So people are in their comfort of their sanctuary, of their home, and they can have their camera off or on if they want to be witnessed. that extra accountability, they can have that, and I can send them the Reiki while they're breathing, while witnessing them. Or a lot of people like to have their camera off and they're just in their sanctuary, they're in their home, and they're giving themselves that permission to heal. And I just love creating this safe space for people to have their nervous system regulated, to have somatic support, to have the expansion, to have the expression that they're wanting and needing. And I like to say, this is your sports game. You get to hoop and holler and moan and tone and groan and scream. And like, no one at a sports game is self-consciously going, oh, should I not make that noise because I'm worried that someone else is going to be bothered? This is your sports game. When you have your breathwork session, you get to have whatever you want. You get to spread out. You get to have your blankets and your water. And you get to cry if you need to cry. You can cry the whole damn time. It's not about doing it right. Yeah, it's not about doing it right. I'm so inspired by Wim Hof's book. Now, I don't do Wim Hof as breathwork. That's not my modality. My modality is all in and out of the mouth. But I love the chapter where he says, can I curse?
You're asking me permission.
on your show?
Yeah. Please do. Always. I mean, I don't think there are any children and we're going to offend anybody, but anybody who knows me knows that my mouth is yeah.
Okay.
Fire away.
Okay.
By the way, you cursed twice and you didn't ask permission, and I love that. So,
did I?
Yeah, you did.
I did. Okay. I didn't even notice. Okay.
See, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter. So, yes, and you can curse during the primal sounding in your breathwork session. But I love the chapter that Wim Hof talks about. He says the chapter is breathe, motherfucker. And it just is what it's about. It's like, it doesn't matter, he says, how you get the breath in. Because here's the thing with all these breathwork modalities. It's too heady for me. It's like, it's overcomplicating it when we are like, but am I doing it right? Because that's what we do. So point being, just get the breath in. Don't worry about if you're doing it right. It's not about pleasing anyone. So you're in your safe space, you're in your sanctuary, you can have your camera off, and you're just allowing yourself to process small trauma, big trauma, and also, hey, it doesn't have to be dramatic either. Because if you want to have a breathwork session that is just freaking joyful the whole time, that's great too. I love getting what's called tetany, right? Which is like lobster claw hands or like tension or tightness sensation around the mouth or anywhere in the body, in the feet. Most people get it in their hands or around their mouth or in their feet. But I had a session one time, maybe like 6 months ago with my facilitator. And Jen was buzzing, vibrating, warmth, tingling, like after having gotten out of a cold shower, feeling every cell of my body. And I was processing something big that had just happened, but it was amazing. It felt like a hug. And so I say to people, if you get tetany, just enjoy it, like lean into it, know that it's your body doing what it needs to do. It knows exactly. And that's the same with 26 years of Reiki that I've been practicing. It's trust your body. Your body knows exactly. I am not here to manipulate anything for anyone. I am here to just be a clear channel, right? I am just getting out of the way. And this is the same with the Akashic, because I teach Akashic record reading. You have a direct connection to your body's wisdom and to source and to your masters, your teachers, your guides, your angels, your whatever you're connected to, you are directly connected to it. You do not need anything in between. So really, I'm just here to empower you to be connected to yourself and to your body's wisdom, and to source, and just let go and let God, let go and let universe. And it just, But we teach and we give what we need. Like, I know your story from you coming onto my podcast, that you give people what you needed and what you continue to benefit from. And so that's what I do. I give people what I needed and what I continue to benefit from. So I needed nervous system regulation. We all did.
Same.
And we didn't get it. And that's okay. We're getting it now.
Correct.
We didn't even have that word.
Those are the lessons, right? Those are the lessons. And so that kind of goes back to, even just a small example, as I shared last night, coming out of the restaurant, had a great time, had a blast. We're getting in the car. And for me, I'm so dialed inward now at my intuition, like my nervous system, when something doesn't feel aligned, when people don't feel aligned, when an experience doesn't feel aligned, I know, like my body is just like check engine light on, right? Depending on what it is depending on how loud and, vigorous it is. But my nervous system will tell me, like, you need to move out of this situation, or you got to get back to your home base, or go, do this, do that. So when you're tapped into that, what a beautiful guiding source, right? And so I was disconnected from that for a very long time. And that's embarrassing to say to some degree.
No.
But on the same token, it's not. Like, it's just where I was at in that season of my life.
And so many people, you're normalizing it because so many people, right?
Right.
Are not.
And ultimately, when I look back at a lot of those experiences, like, I was really busy. I was really busy filling my schedule and my time with a lot of things that were just, I don't want to say priority, but it didn't give me the time and the space to actually think about anything else. It wasn't until I sat in my yard, where you start asking. I had this conversation with a girlfriend yesterday who was sharing some things. She's got some big life decisions in front of her. And I was like, have you asked yourself what you should do here? And she looked at me and immediate tears started coming down her face. And I was like, oh, honey, like, you know the answer, don't you? You know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what you need to do here. And she's like, but I'm scared. She's like, I don't want to ask the questions because I'm scared. And I'm like, why are you scared? What's more scary? Knowing the answer and not acting, or knowing the answer and maybe moving through some uncharted waters to get to a better side?
Right.
She just sat there and silently cried. And I'm like, I got tears thinking about it just now too, because she's so sweet. But we've
all been there in that position that you're talking about.
Right.
Of like, we know, but we don't want to know that we know because we don't want to have to take the action. We don't want to have to do the 20 seconds of courage, but that's all it is.
Correct. Yeah. And so what I love about what you said about the breath work, a million things I love about it, but it doesn't always have to be a traumatic or a dramatic experience. You can also revel in the joy. Yeah. I had an experience. I like to do my breath work in my hyperbaric chamber.
Yes.
Getting the oxygen. That's Jen, doing things 10 times, right? But I get, there's benefits to it, not just the oxygenation, but it's also the container. I'm creating a container of space, of uninterrupted space. I'm literally locked into a airtight container. Mark can't bother me.
Okay, guys, you do not have to try this at home.
No, you do not.
This is Jen.
This is Jen. But what I did, what it allows me to do is that's the space that I've created in my home to be completely free.
Yes.
Uninterrupted. I can cry. I can, moan, groan, whatever it is I need to do. But I had an experience a few months ago of so much exhilaration and joy.
Oof.
Because we don't always need to clear the bad or the negative, right? Or the dramatic. This was like enlightenment. Like my body was just vibrating at a level that I cannot even describe. It was like energy rushing through me and like a screen door, like coming in, going out. It was amazing.
Yes.
Like, this is where it's at. Like, this is where it's at, is when we allow ourselves to breathe. Because so often I catch myself like, Jen, freaking breathe. Like, why are you holding your breath, right? Why are you holding your breath? And so the breath work of allowing yourself to breathe in and breathe out is just so powerful and such an experience.
You are the straw. I like to say, this is my new quote. You are the straw and life is breathing you.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Thank you. I just put it up. Because the last breathwork session that I had, private breathwork session that I had, that was the experience I had. I was the straw. I got to that place. The beginning of the breathwork session, Jen, I was like, so much. Okay, I hold my pain. Where do you hold your pain?
Stress. Right where you just put your hands, cross the shoulders.
Okay,
cross the shoulders
we're like soul
time.
sisters.
I know.
Soul sisters, right here, right here. In the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I guess that's pretty normal, but
well, okay. Quite a few have mentioned like lower back or jaw. A lot of people have jaw.
Well, yeah. I feel those too. Yeah. I definitely clench. I notice when I wake up, I'll be like, ooh, I've been clenching during the night. Yeah, that's so common too. And yeah, I've gotten the lower back thing too. But in general, it's right where we're talking about here in the back of the neck and the top of the shoulders. So when I started the breathwork session, and same with yesterday when I did breathwork, there's a point, I'm sure you know this, with any sort of healing where it becomes acute and you feel it so intensely and so vividly and so strongly in your body because it's coming up to be released. It's like, let's heal this. So here we go. We're going to pay attention to it. And now it's loud. And so that can happen, right? And then it's like getting comfortable with being uncomfortable before it gets so good.
Yeah.
Right? I know. So I was like, okay, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay with this. I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to notice it. I'm going to feel it. Because it's there, whether I'm going to pay attention to it or not, It is there, right? So I was like, okay, this is uncomfortable. Let's keep breathing. And by the time I got to the end of the session, I was the straw. And I could just feel, like you said, the screen door. Dude, I was like feeling it. There was nothing stopping me. And speaking of another song I need to send to you, which actually is on the playlist I've been sending out to people, so maybe you already have. Do you have that playlist I've been sending out?
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you for sending that out. What a beautiful collection. That is amazing. Thank you for bringing that up, because everybody listening needs to know that exists. And it's a playlist. I'll let you speak to it.
Yeah, I am obsessed with this playlist. I'm listening to it nonstop at the moment. Okay, so just the song Nothing's Holding Me Back that's on it. It's just, that's my theme right now. Like the cold showers and the breath work being the straw. I mean, I'm such a cliche. I am like the ultimate spiritual cliche, like the cold, but hey, there's a reason for cliches. It's because they work.
They work.
Right?
Right. It's the norm. I mean, they work. I love it. I love the fact that you were doing the cold showers. When I saw you post that last week, I was like, yes. I've been doing cold. Look at your page. You're like, no. At first, no.
No, I was so scared, but I'm so addicted now.
Isn't it? It's like invigorating. And anybody who's listening who's never done it is probably like, hell no, I'm not doing that. But I dare you, I challenge you to just try it. Just try it, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're going to be cold for a few minutes. No big deal, right? But it is such a invigorating, I mean, I would even say empowering. Like when I get out of a cold shower, I do cold plunge now. Like that's my thing. My cold plunge is.
That's what I'm building. I'm building to it, Jen.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to get do you sell these?
I don't sell, but I affiliate and work with. Yeah, I've got a couple companies that are fantastic that I worked with for years that I recommend. Yes. But you build, like you're building a runway, right? Like you don't just take off on the plane and hope for the best. Sometimes you got to build a runway. I've been doing cold plunge for many years.
You're like, since I was 5.
No, I mean a long time. But I would say, so there are a lot of different benefits: anti-aging, muscle autophagy, like all the things that are being, like all the good things. But really, what I love about it, other than the fact that it's doing a couple things. It's exercising the muscles of the body and the nervous system, as well as
the brown fatty tissue cells, right?
Yeah. a lot of different ways to spin it. But what I love about it, like mine's in my master bedroom. So as soon as I get up in the morning, before the cats are even fed, no joke, like the cats wake me up in the morning, like, okay, ready to go. I mean, my internal clock gets me up. I go literally from my bed to my cold plunge, and the cats are just standing there staring at me like, we know the drill, lady. 5 minutes in the cold plunge before I get fed. No joke. So I go right into that because I want to wake up. I want to start my day. I'm not screwing
Yes.
Like,
And do you check your phone?
No, not at all. No, my phone.
Okay, because I did the bad thing and I checked my phone before I got into the cold shower this morning, and I was like, do not do that again, Siri. Do not do that.
Nope, you don't do that. My phone is not anywhere near my bedroom. My entire second floor of my house and my wing of my bedroom has no electronics, no EMFs, no nothing.
Okay, that's next.
Yep.
I've been keeping it in the bathroom. That's not good enough. I got to keep it in like a locked. Well,
yeah, the furthest away from you, so that if it's going to disrupt you on the way to the shower or wherever it is
that's right.
You just don't put it there, because why create
okay, so I need to get an actual alarm clock. I got to go old school with the alarm clock.
Here's what you do about the alarm clock, because this is the thing that tells me, like, Jen, I need my phone for my alarm clock. The hell you do, because up until
get an alarm clock
10 years ago or whatever the hell it was, we didn't have cell phones next to our heads. We had these things that plug into the wall. My favorite is the sunrise alarm clock, because it chirps birds and it chirps nature sounds. It's the best. It's $20 or $30 on Amazon.
And you don't sleep through that?
No, hell no. No. It also, it
I'm gonna need the like cockatoo set, the like
we'll set it up
the rooster setting.
I'll put the link in the show notes for everyone to see. But this clock, Mark and I both have one on both sides of our bed. You can do it two ways. So circadian rhythm, we won't go down that path today because there's we'll do a whole show on that just in general, but it illuminates to the sun. It like the sunrise. So it's literally, it will brighten the room. So if you're a person who likes room darkening, it's going to illuminate the room. I have 19 windows in my bedroom, not a joke. Our house is a tree house. We have no blinds. I wake up when the sun comes up because my room gets bright, right? So I don't have any room darkening, anything in my room. So I don't need the sunrise. But what I do need is, if I'm setting an alarm, I don't need to be like or any other kind of sound. It's literally birds chirping at a light tone, and it gets louder and louder if you need it. But my body is so in tune if I hear it. And I don't normally have to set an alarm because my cats and my internal clock get me up. But if I have to catch a 4 a.m. flight or something ridiculous, let's be honest, I need an alarm clock. So I have one. It plugs into the wall, or it can be battery operated. It has no EMFs, and it's in rhythm with nature. That's what everybody needs.
Wow.
Get on Amazon and get it. It's on my website. People can find it there too. But set the phone on the opposite side of the house, or in a place where once you get so for me, I don't even touch my phone until I've done my cold plunge. I've fed my cats. I go outside and I ground. I pray. I read my vision. Sometimes I read my book. Maybe I pour a cup of coffee, not every day because I'm really sticking away from that. My phone doesn't hit my hand sometimes an hour or two after I get up, because there's nothing there. Like, what the hell's there? I mean, the one thing
it depends on who's relying on you, right?
Correct. I was going to say, I don't have kids. That's a different story. I worry sometimes, like if my mom needs me in the middle of the night, she doesn't like stuff like that. But overarchingly, who the hell needs me? My email, nobody's more important than my prayer. Nobody's more important than my body and my health. Coming from somebody who chased their health backwards for years after a stroke and paralysis, you get real fucking clear what's important.
I love that, chased their health backwards.
Yeah. There isn't a single person sending me a message or in my inbox that's more important than the meeting I have with myself in the morning. Not a one.
Yes, Jen. Yes, all day long. Yes.
Right. And so if the cold plunge or the cold shower or whatever it is that you do in the morning, just don't put yourself a distraction or a speed bump. And if it's the phone, you put it somewhere where you don't have to touch it. Mine is in my office, and I don't step into my office until I'm ready to step into my office or come and get my phone.
Okay. So, what's your view on having social media apps on your phone? This is a tangent.
Well, anybody who knows me well knows that I am not a huge fan of social media. I'm currently more engaging on it now because of the podcast and because of some things that I'm doing and some of the things that I want to be more engaged in. but I'm very specific to have certain times of the day that I jump on social media. I usually block myself out about 30 to 60 minutes a day to interact online.
Okay.
I also have a couple phenomenal people on my team that handles scheduled social media and things for me to get things out into the world that I want to share, but would otherwise not take the time to do it. So I plan, that Jen Hiller stuff that I do. But in general, I have Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook apps on my phone, but I don't get alerted. My phone doesn't alert me when I have messages. That's a distraction that I don't need all day long.
Yes.
So it's only when I pick up my phone and decide I'm going to take a break and see what social media has for me today that I actually look at it.
And that break is very intentionally timed out.
Intentional. Yeah. Because it's such a distraction. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't get down rabbit holes, because I absolutely do. But what I have found in my life, again, chase your health backwards on a disease or something serious sometime, and you'll get really clear that time is your biggest asset. Your time. And, I know that time and space is, there are a lot of things I think about it, but the one thing I can't get back is my time, and my energy is the most important thing to me. So where I put my energy in my time is important. It is not on social media. So, my family and my friends, my husband, those are important to me. They know how to get a hold of me. And my mom isn't messaging me through Facebook. She's calling me on a Wednesday afternoon saying, I need you. So I don't need anything on social more important. It's not my priority by any stretch. Never will. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
it totally answered it. And I love it. And I'm so inspired by you, and I need to change my whole life.
Well, maybe some things, but yeah. I mean, that's the point of these conversations, is to be real about what is distracting us. Social media is a fucking distraction.
Okay, we're watching this on social media, so we have to be aware of the irony of it. But we're just talking about being intentional
with your time. And so I'm not opposed to social media. I think it's great. We're on Zoom. You're across the country. I'm in Wisconsin. This is a beautiful thing. I'm grateful for all of these opportunities. I'm grateful for social media. When I opened my wellness center years ago, when Facebook was just kind of kicking off and it was super easy to share, I launched my business for free, basically on Facebook 11 years ago. And it was phenomenal. That's how you got around. That was organic reach.
Yes.
It's turned into something a little bit more distracting in our lives. And so I feel
attention culture.
Correct. I feel like we need to have a good understanding about what social media, what the purpose it serves in our life. So the purpose it serves in my life right now is to stay connected with my friends, let my mom and my aunts and uncles know that I'm alive and thriving and loving in life and all the things. They can see our pictures. People, they can stay connected. Go back to core basics of what social media was about, and it's staying connected with the people you care about the most. It isn't to scroll and look at memes and all the things that are distracting. And so when I get on social media, it's for a very intentional purpose. Interact with the people who sent me messages that want to talk to me. Look at some of my friends and family and people and see what they're up to, and comment and engage and high five them for all their amazing things. And then it's to get off and go do something else. And, say thank you. That was fun. That was a fun little trip down family memory lane or Jen Hiller lifestyle lane. Now I'm going to go outside for a walk, or now I'm going to go do things. I set it down, like literally on my desk right now, face down, on silent. 90% of my day, my phone is face down on silent.
Wow.
Because I don't want to be distracted. I'm doing other things.
Yeah.
So that's a muscle you need to exercise if you want to do it. That is something that you get intentional about. Mark and I talk about this all the time because he likes to bring his phone into the bedroom sometimes if I'm not around. And I'm like, get that thing out of here. That doesn't.
Wow.
He knows. But I mean, I say that jokingly. He's going to listen to this and probably be like, oh. But it's really about just the energetic distraction it creates in my life. And I'm not interested.
When you put your phone down, 90% of the day. And I have mine on do not disturb so much. And my husband's like, he gets so annoyed because he's like, can you take it off do not disturb? But I forget to take it off because every time I facilitate breathwork class or I teach Akashic record reading or I do a podcast interview, it's on do not disturb.
Is that because you're facilitating, you need your phone to facilitate what you're doing, or you just don't want to be distracted by it?
I just can't have any distractions.
Well, what about just turning it on silent?
Yeah, that's not good enough because people will feel the good energy when I'm facilitating class.
How fabulous was that? Oh my gosh. I light up when Siri and I get on the horn and on a roll. Her energy just expands my capacity to speak from my soul. She has a ton of great info on her site and socials, including beautiful playlists and meditations, plus a few great ways you can connect and work with her. Please do go and check it out and be sure to tune in to part 2 next week. We're going to dive deeper into what it means to truly live in your state of joy. Also, if you got something out of this conversation, thank you for hopping over and rating and reviewing the show. It means the world to me, and I absolutely love reading your feedback. I'm grateful for you, this platform, and your vibrant bright light out into the world. Cheers to you, health, and happiness, my friends. Thanks so much for listening. I appreciate you. If you love this episode, please leave a rating and review on Apple and Spotify. This helps me expand my reach to other health and wellness enthusiasts. If you're interested in purchasing a clear light sauna, have a topic request, or just want to connect with me, please head over to my site, jenhellerlifestyle.com.